eNtitY, good to see you again today.
Me too. I was hoping to be back.
Yeah, that was quite the round 2-0, but it wasn't an easy 2-0.
No, there was a lot of mind games that went into that.
Obviously the first game you really wanted to get that 3-gate push going, but those Phoenix were up there, which you really kind of looks like it held you back for a good amount of time, even though you still slowly were able to get the power to get up there. But those Phoenix were really well micro that just kept your stalkers as not as
he
big
did
of a
really
factor.
Yeah, he did really good with the Phoenix. I thought I was gonna be dead on like the first or second push, but he held for a while. I mean, I killed a lot of probes, so I knew I was really in a good spot. But
yeah, and of course the Nexus in his base would have allowed you to start mining from his mineral patches, obviously, of course, if he would have stayed in the game as well.
Right.
Game 2, it looks like you want to do the aggressive Oracle into his base, but you got a few probe kills, but maybe not as many as you hoped.
Yeah, I kind of expected him to do a different build. I think he'd start getting it. So I thought it'd be a good counter. But when I got the 2 Oracles out, I tried to draw him over to the natural with that first Phoenix, which I did, and I came in, but he already had the photon cannon on the Nexus.
I think you were able to get around 10 probe kills, so that's definitely significant. But then he came in with his Phoenix after that and kind of ravaged your mineral line. How'd that make you feel?
It was fine though, because I didn't even want to put up defense. I thought about making a forge. I thought about like putting stalkers back there, other than more than like 3 to actually defend the probes. But I had the natural up. When I scouted he didn't have a Nexus, I was like, okay, just all-inning, I need to hold. So the only thing I wanted to do from there was just photon overcharge on the Nexus twice.
That's one thing I noticed too, is when those Phoenix came in, they left the northern part of your base. If they would have swung around the south and been able to pick off your mothership core, do you think that would have changed the tides of it?
Yeah, because if you didn't let me get that second photon overcharge, like that made me feel so safe. And not only that, but when he was going all in and he was lifting my probes, it just doesn't make, you don't do that. So I knew that I won when he was lifting probes, because he's like, you don't need to even economy, you need to kill my units.
Right.
So when he was just wasting the lifts on probes, I was like, okay, your Phoenix have no energy to actually fight anything. So I knew I was gonna win.
Cool. So again, more Stargate play. You're really liking that Stargate?
Yeah.
Do you think that Robo even really has a place in early game PvP anymore?
I can't say it doesn't, because I lost to Dance yesterday going Robo. So I don't. It's pretty good. Like if you fast expand like he did to me on Neoplanet, and you go Robo as a safe way for like DT and stuff, I think it's fine. Like you get the economy advantage, but you want to get a Stargate or something later. You won't want to go Colossus out of it. Maybe for like observers, or just a War Prism harass or something, depending on what they go.
I remember that game yesterday. I think it was you where the 1 DT was in your base, and without a Robo, you had to make an Oracle and wait for that, and then use Revelation, and then warp in Zealots to just take care of the 1 DT. So that is a factor, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean you can defend with Oracle. I've tried it before with Fast Nexus, but you have to make 2 if they're being really aggressive, because it runs out of energy, and you don't have enough for the second Envision or whatever. So it's kind of a lot of investment to get that early eco, and if they don't try to pressure you, it's not really worth it.
We haven't seen a lot of Protoss, like Protoss versus Protoss early expands. Is it more of a 1 base game now, you think?
Yeah, it's just not figured out enough. There's definitely early expands you can do with the Mothership Core, but the timings are so thin, I don't think anybody wants to risk it here.
And it looks like with the aggressive play we've seen out of everyone, Game 1 you and Game 1 both of you, or sorry, Game 2 both of you did the aggressiveness. It's would be pretty risky, but
yeah, like a lot of mind games have to go into it, just because we know each other a lot. We know so much about each other's playstyle that you can't just go straight up into it. You change stuff up. Like I think that's kind of what he did to Game 2, because he knows I read a lot into him, and that's kind of my strong suit against him.
So it's like, do the mind games make the mind games more complicated, knowing that you're going to have mind games
going on between
each other?
Knowing him for 15 years and playing StarCraft with him for the last 10, yeah.
So when you go into a game, it's like, okay, he's probably going to go Stargate, but he knows I'm probably going to go Stargate, so I'm not going to go Stargate.
Yeah, when I just didn't want to do Phoenix versus Phoenix against him. I'm not really a fan of it, so I kind of tried to avoid Stargate in that Game 1. That's why I was aggressive, and I thought he was actually going to do a different build. He 4 gates a lot. I said this before, but I didn't think he'd do it to me, so I knew there was only a couple things that he would probably try to do to me.
So it looks like with that game, I lost the scroll bar here. You're going to be going up against Mectastic.
Yeah,
so
I actually know him too.
We got to cast his game last night, so we'll have a PVT in that regard. Nick is still finding our next opponent, but thanks for stopping up eNtitY. Good to talk to you again, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again.
We'll see. I don't know.
Well, we'll talk to you one way or the other. But
okay.
It's, again, we're going to be casting all the games today, so you're not going to miss any action. But this is eNtitY, the winner of our last game, 2-0, and we'll move on. Thanks, man.
Yep. Thanks for having me.